Tonight, we report on the arrest of a teenager for the murder of Brandon Mende and how the construction is progressing for the Columbia Basin Skills Center. What's going on in sports, Bob?
Big Bend basketball split games on the road last night. Stick around to find out which team is in a must-win situation Saturday. Let's take a look at the Weather Center forecast.
And from the Weather Center, we'll take a quick look into the weekend. Looks a little chilly and maybe even a little more light snow by Sunday morning, but all in all, not too bad.
I'm Alan Troop, and we have all this and much more on iFIBER 1 News.
From the iFIBER 1 HD studio here in the heart of the Columbia Basin, this is iFIBER 1 News. Your #1 source for local news, sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. This is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
Michael David Meyer, a 17-year-old Moses Lake boy, was arrested this morning for the murder of Brandon Mende. Mende was shot and killed in the yard of a home in the 6,000 block of Turnkey Road in Larson early Sunday morning. Meyer was arrested for murder in the first degree at 425 North Grape Drive in Moses Lake. Grant County Sheriff Tom Jones thanked everyone who supplied information to the police, including witnesses and people providing tips. Jones said the teamwork of sheriff's deputies, Moses Lake Police, and the marshals was a great force in this case. This is a great example of what can happen when we have citizen and law enforcement cooperation. People driving along Quincy's Division Street should expect construction this summer. The City Council approved a $1 million bid from Moses Lake's Advanced Excavation to rebuild a section of the street. The company will rebuild the road and add a sidewalk and curb to one side of the street. The State Transportation Improvement Board gave the city a $1.2 million grant to pay for the project. Mayor Jim Hembury said the city will be responsible for about 30% of the cost. City Administrator Tim Sneed said a half-mile section of the street needs to be repaired and the construction completes a multi-year plan to rebuild the road. The project is expected to take 80 days once work starts. If you're looking for a good time with your sweetheart, reporter Spencer Graham has an idea.
The Moses Lake Chamber of Commerce is hosting a Sweetheart Ball fundraiser tomorrow to raise money for the deteriorating roof.
We had some wind damage done to our roof, and so the insurance company's repairing a portion of it, but not the whole roof, and we found that the whole roof does need to be replaced. So trying to raise some funds so we can do that. We need about $15,000, and since it's February, we opted to do Sweetheart Ball, but there were several other events happening last week on Valentine's Day, so we bumped it a week. So it's this Friday, February 21st, starting at 6 p.m., and it'll go into the 11 o'clock midnight time frame. We have Foolish Fortune playing, so there'll be dancing music. It'll be a dinner as well as a silent and live auction.
To register, visit moseslake.com or call the Chamber at 509-765-7888, extension 100. The cost to attend is $75 per person and $500 per table of 8.
I'm just looking forward to everybody coming out and having a great evening. It's always a nice time to socialize with one another and an opportunity to get dressed up, go have a wonderful dinner out at Pillar Rock, and we have great things on deck as far as live and silent auction items. So an opportunity to get some great things as well as support the community.
Pillar Rock Grill is located at 1373 Road F2 Northeast in Moses Lake. The event gets underway at 6 p.m. For iFIBER 1 News, this is Spencer Graham.
Thank you, Spencer. The State Department of Corrections asked you to help with the arrest of people with outstanding warrants. Here are 2 they are looking for.
Each of the people you see here has warrants for their arrest and is wanted by various law enforcement agencies. If you see any of these people, the Department of Corrections asks that you do not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but to call police. You can also call the Department of Corrections at 509-764-6180 during the day or 509-762-1160 after 5 p.m.
We will be back after this.